welcome. I am the Urban Animist, and I am here to bring you a guide to the unknown and the unseen. Today, I have with me my brother, the ash, sacred tree that I work with. It's a huge ash tree, one of my favorites. Anyways, okay, so today's video will be about my experiences traveling some of the realms. In the Norse cosmology, there are 9 realms. Each one of them have different properties and are there for different reasons. For example, the realm of the giants, Jotunheim. You have the realm of the elves, Alfheim. You have the realm where the gods live, Asgard. You also have the realm where Freya and Freyr are from, which is Vanaheim. And I believe Freya is the queen of Vanaheim. And you have Niflheim, Muspelheim, Helheim, Midgard, where we are, so on and so forth. You know what I mean. You get the idea. Okay, now, today, like I said, I'm going to talk about some of my experiences. One of my first experiences was going into Helheim. I was invited by Hel herself, and she is a very close goddess to my heart. She is very strong and powerful, and I don't mean in the magical way, like she's a great ally to have on your back, but she is the queen of the souls of the dead. There's not much more I can say on that. Anyways, so I've worked with her for a while. I have actually, on a little tangent, I have been into Greek paganism or the Greek pantheon for a very, very long time. And recently, well, I say recently, but over the past 5 years, I've been really interested in my own spiritual heritage. And that would be the Norse cosmology or Norse religion, more specifically Anglo-Saxon. Anyways, so I've worked with Hel for a very long time, and I've given her offerings for a while. One thing that I know she loves is she likes silverware, forks and knives. And the reason for this is because in some of the stories you see that Hel is charged with feeding the dead, the souls of the dead. And I believe she was cited as saying, as long as I rule over Hel, no soul shall go unfed, or something to that extent. Well, when I went to Hel, how I got there was I went into a meditative state or a trance state, and I walked down a flight of steps that went into the ground. At the very end was a stone archway, and this stone archway took me into Hel. Now, when I went there, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened because it's very, very personal. But I will say one of the best experiences that I can tell you is that when I came to Hel's table, I sat there and I looked down and I realized that I was at my own place. I was in my spot. I was at my spot in the table. And it had the fork and the knife that I had offered her, the first fork and knife that I had offered her. And I realized that was my spot at the table forevermore. And it was a beautiful feeling. It was absolutely incredible. Okay, so Hel is the closest goddess to my heart. So let's just get that out into the air. Okay, now the second place I went to Alfheim. And I had asked Freya to help me get to Alfheim, which she did. I used drumming, and I used a blend of herbs that I turned into a tincture. I used that for the meditative state and for the trance state, and it worked really well. We'll talk about that later. I'll give you the recipe and everything. Anyways, so I went to Alfheim, and as I was on my way there, the best way I can explain it is it was like I was in the cosmos in deep space. There were no stars anywhere except for these few stars that were spaced out far from each other, and from each star you could see a connection. It was kind of like not quite a web, but I was traveling up this dark connection, this connector. It was like the branch of a tree, how a tree has different branches and there are leaves on each, on the tip of each. That's what it looked like, but each one was like a star, and I was heading for Alfheim, and I knew which one was Alfheim. So I get there. Freya leaves me right as I get there, and I am in the middle of this beautiful emerald field. There were hills everywhere. It was gorgeous. The sky was a light powder blue color, and there was a pink mist hanging over everything. That's what caught me off guard, was a pink mist. I never expected it. So I decided I would look around. I did for a little bit, and I came upon a white tower. This white tower was pure white stone, and it wasn't a very tall tower, but it only had one door in the front of the door. And I went to go inside, and before I even grabbed the doorknob, I heard, "Do not go in, you are not ready." And so I said, okay. And as I stepped back, I was jerked from Alfheim, and I was put back into my body. So apparently, I almost had trespassed into somebody's home, or something's home. But thank gods that I didn't. No, the third time. This is really unique, and it's not really conscious traveling, but I've been having a reoccurring dream lately of just pure swirling blackness, like pure void that has weight, and it moves and congeals and condenses. It's absolutely insane. The only way to explain it. I don't see any pictures in it when I'm dreaming. It's just blackness that moves around. Well, from some divination work and talking to certain gods, I figured out that I was in Gnunga Gap, which is strange. And I haven't figured out why I was in Gnunga Gap. But, you know, as a shaman, as a practicer of Seidr, and as an animist, I believe that I'm on the right path to something. Might not know what that something is, but I'm heading there. I'm going to get there soon. Now, with that said, with my experiences shared, I'm going to give you not quite a step-by-step, but a general idea on how to travel, or how to start the process of traveling. Okay, so your best bet would be to ask a spirit guide or a spirit familiar, or even a god that you're close to aid you in your practice and working. You can do it completely on your own. It's completely possible. But the best way I can describe it is, if you're alone, it's like you are trying to pick a lock instead of having the key. So it's a little bit harder. You got to work a little harder. It is possible. Now, the lock won't always turn, and you won't always get in, but it is possible, and eventually, with enough practice, you will be able to pick the lock faster than you ever believed possible. Now, with a guide or a god or a spirit, it's like having a master key or a skeleton key. It doesn't always work, again, but it's so much easier to get in with them helping you or with them leading you. And I find that if you revere them enough, and if you honor them and respect them enough, they are willing to help you. The gods always want to help you. They are close to us. No matter what anybody says, they are here with us now. I've seen people get, quote unquote, possessed by the energy of a god talking to me, so the god could speak through them and tell me something. Now, I've got many stories on that, and that'll be for another time, but the gods are here. The gods are close. The gods aren't distant. They're right next to us. They're in this tree. They are this tree. Come on. Now, I like going through the realms because I like experiencing this. This was my goal I just started this goal of traversing the realms a year ago. Now, I've been into, like I said, Norse paganism, and I've been worshiping Hela for about maybe 5 years. So I've got a long running with her. But I've been devotedly worshiping Hecate for 11 to 13. So I just have an affinity with death gods, and you wouldn't think it, or psychopomps, and you wouldn't think it by knowing me in real life, because I don't know. I guess I can't say that. I was going to say I'm not sullen or anything, but what does that even matter? Death comes from all of us in the end, no matter who we are. Well, I can't really think of anything else to add in here. I hope you found this very informative. I hope that you can get something, glean something out of this, even if it's just a little tiny something or other. My goal, and the reason I'm here, and I don't mean just here on YouTube, the reason I'm here is because I am a teacher, I am a shaman, and I am a mouthpiece of the gods. Whether you believe it or not, most of this stuff is just personal gnosis. There's no backing to any of it, except a lot of it can correlate with the stories and myths and such. But my experience is personal gnosis. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm not saying it'll exactly happen the same way to you, but I'm here to teach. Like I said, I'm the mouthpiece of the gods, and I shall not be stifled ever. The gods come through me any way they want. I am their vessel. And I know wherever or whoever you are, that you're out there looking for me, looking to reach a point where I'm at, or to learn some of the incredible stuff that I know, or even to have your own incredible experiences. I am here, and I know you will find me, whoever, like I said, whoever or wherever you are. I am the Urban Animist, and I hope that I have uncovered some of the unknown and the unseen and illuminated it for you. Remember, if you like my videos or you have a question for me, follow me on Facebook, The Urban Animist, or you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram also, The Urban Animist, real easy, or you can subscribe. The subscribe would be real good. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. May the gods lead you on your path, whatever path that is, and may they inspire you to do great things in their name. Have a wonderful night, y'all.